Japan has 11 rules for the bedroom that Americans break every single day, and together, they are the reason your bedroom smells, and you are the only person who can't smell it. What makes it worse is that most Americans are breaking at least 4 of these rules without even knowing they exist. Take making your bed every morning, for example. It feels completely normal to you, but it is actually one of the biggest reasons your bedroom smells in the first place. The good news is that Japan has an entire system for finding the source of a smell and removing it, instead of just covering it up with a candle or a plug-in like we do. The first rule I'm going to show you is one you deal with every day, and it will surprise you. The 8th rule is the reason the air in your bedroom this morning is still stale. And the last rule is the one that ties every other rule together. And once you fix it, your bedroom will never smell again. The first Japanese bedroom rule Americans break starts with your pillow. In a Japanese household, the guidance on this is very specific, and it follows one simple principle, which is that the closer something sits to your body, the more often it needs to be washed. So pajamas get changed daily because they are on your skin all night. The pillowcase gets swapped every 3 to 4 days, or every 2 to 3 days if you sleep on your side or your face. The sheets go in the machine weekly, and even the pillow itself gets washed twice a year and replaced every 1 to 2 years. Usually in the West, people do it the other way around, where the sheets and the pillowcase go into the machine together maybe once a month, and the pillow inside the case gets forgotten completely and never sees the inside of a washing machine. That pillow has been absorbing the back of your neck and your scalp for years now, and it is where 2-nonenal collects, which is the compound behind what Japan calls karishu, or aging odor, and every single night it gets pressed right back into your face for another 8 hours. It is the only object in the entire bedroom that spends that long in direct contact with your scalp, your neck, and the side of your face. And it also happens to be the one thing most people forget to wash. So think about it for a second. How old is your pillow? Not the case, but the actual pillow inside the case. You probably don't know, and most people don't, because it came out of a plastic bag from a store you can't even remember, and it has sat on your bed ever since. And every partner and every guest who has ever put their face down on it has smelled something you can't smell yourself. The Japanese reasoning here is that a pillowcase is a cover and not a barrier. So a cover that gets changed weekly is just sitting on top of an object that has never been washed since the day it was made. What you can do about this is change the pillowcase every 3 days, wash the pillow itself twice a year and dry it out completely, and then replace it every 1 to 2 years, ideally with a cotton one. That takes care of your pillow, but the next rule is about your mattress, and it is actually a habit most of us were praised for as children. The second rule is something you do within 30 seconds of standing up every morning, and it is a habit you were praised for growing up. In a Japanese household, the bedding gets folded back and left open to the air for an hour or 2 before it gets put away, because sleep specialists over there say plainly that airing the mattress out matters far more than making the bed look neat. Usually in the West, people pull the duvet up over a warm, damp mattress within 30 seconds of standing up, because a made bed feels like a completed morning. The problem is that a full night's sweat is sitting right in the top layer of that mattress, and by covering it up so quickly, you trap all of that moisture against the surface at body temperature for the next 16 hours, right up until you climb back in and add another layer to it. The mattress doesn't actually dry at any point in the 24-hour cycle, because the 2 hours it could have dried out are the same 2 hours you covered it up, and you were praised for this as a child. Somebody stood in the doorway when you were 7 years old and told you that making the bed was a good habit, so you have done it every single morning since, and it happens to be one of the reasons your bedroom smells today. That habit was invented for a bedding system that got folded up and put away in a cupboard every morning, and it was never invented for a mattress that weighs 100 pounds and hasn't left the frame it came in on. The Japanese reasoning is that a bed that looks tidy and a bed that is actually dry are two completely different jobs, and the one that matters is the one you can't see from the doorway. So fold the duvet back to the foot of the bed and leave the mattress open for at least an hour before you make it. That takes care of the top of the mattress, but the third Japanese bedroom rule is about the underside of it. In a Japanese household, the bedding sits on sonoko, which are slatted wooden platforms designed for one specific reason, and that is because air has to move under the mattress or condensation will start to form on the underside. Usually in the West, people have a solid base, the bed pushed flat against the wall, and plastic storage boxes filling every inch of the gap under the frame. The sweat that goes downwards through the mattress doesn't just stop at the middle of it. It keeps going and collects on the bottom face, which never sees light, never sees air, and never gets a chance to dry out. That underside becomes a sealed, warm, and dark surface with no airflow at all, which is the exact environment described in every mold textbook ever written. Go and lift the corner of your mattress right now and put your hand flat on the underside. That surface has been sealed off since the day you moved in, and if you have lived in the house for 5 years, then that is 5 years of one surface, never once seeing the air of the room it is in. The Japanese reasoning is that a mattress has two faces, and the one you don't see is the one that actually matters. So pull the bed 4 inches off the wall, clear everything out from under it, and stand the mattress on its side for an hour once a month. That takes care of the mattress itself, but the next rule is about the largest single piece of fabric in your entire house, and it is the one thing most people forget to wash. And if keeping a house clean and in order matters to you, I have put every Japanese method I could find into this book. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description to get your copy and transform your house. Now, that is the top of the mattress. The next rule is about the surface of it you have never seen, never touched, and have never once let dry out. The fourth Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about the duvet, and specifically the thing inside the cover. In Japan, the bedding gets hung over a balcony rail every week, and futon dryers, which are a heated appliance made purely for drying bedding out, are a mainstream household purchase and not some strange gadget. In an American house, your comforter has never been washed and never been aired because it is enormous and there is nowhere to put it. It is the largest single piece of fabric in your house, it sits over a cup of moisture every single night, and it is the only one you have decided doesn't need to be cleaned. The cover gets washed and the duvet stays inside it, absorbing whatever the cover was supposed to catch in the first place. You have washed the cover, but you have never washed the thing inside the cover, and those are two separate objects, and only one of them has actually been in contact with the air you breathe all night. Ask yourself when the duvet was last outside the cover at all. Not the cover, the duvet. You can't answer that question either. The Japanese reasoning is that a cover is a cover, and the object inside it is a separate object with its own cleaning schedule. So hang it over something in the sun for a few hours this weekend, wash it twice a year, and always dry it fully, because a damp duvet is worse than a dirty one. That is everything on and around the bed. The next rule is about the thing between you and the bed, which is the thing you put on your clean body every night. The fifth Japanese rule is about your pajamas. Japan treats sleepwear as its own category, so namaki is worn for sleeping and nothing else, and it gets changed daily in the same way you would change a shirt. In an American house, you wear the clothes you wore on the couch, which are the same clothes you wore to the shops, and they get washed roughly when somebody notices. You shower at night, get into a clean bed, and then dress the clean body in the softest, most absorbent, and least washed thing you own, and every night it goes back on with the previous 4 nights still in it. The pajama shirt is the fabric closest to your skin for 8 hours, and the pajama pants are the fabric closest to it for the same 8, and those are the 2 garments in your entire wardrobe with the longest gap between washes. This is the answer to the question you have never been able to answer, which is how a clean person in a clean bed still wakes up to a smell in the sheets. You changed the bed. You never changed what was between you and it. Everyone who has ever done laundry with you has folded these and put them back in the drawer unwashed, because that is the household rule you have silently agreed on. The Japanese reasoning is that sleepwear is a category and not an outfit, and a category has its own laundry schedule regardless of whether it looks dirty on the day. So wear something only for sleep, ideally cotton, and change it every 1 to 2 days, or every day in summer. Alright, this next one is going to upset some of you, but hear me out. The 6th Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about your pets on the bed. Japanese households overwhelmingly keep animals off the bedding, and it isn't sentiment. It is that the futon is a thing that gets aired, folded, and put in a cupboard, so it can't be a shared surface to begin with. In an American house, the dog or the cat sleeps on the duvet, on the pillow, or under it every single night for years on end. A dog carries the outdoors into the one place you spend 8 unconscious hours with your face pressed into it, meaning the grass, the sidewalk, whatever the last dog it met left on the pavement, and everything the paw pads pick up between the door and the bedroom. Fur and dander are also the richest food source a mattress can be given, which is why the mite population in a bed shared with a pet is measured differently than one that isn't. This is the rule you have already decided you are not going to follow, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. The dog sleeps on the bed. It has been sleeping on the bed since it was small enough to fit in one hand, and you are not going to be the one who stops it now. But I would rather you knew what you were choosing than not. The Japanese reasoning is that a bed is a surface with a job, and a shared surface can't do that job properly. So if the animal stays, get a washable throw to go over the duvet, change it twice a week, and take it off before you get in. Those were 6 rules about the objects in the room. The next one is about the objects living inside those objects, and it is the rule where even the people who think they are doing everything right are getting it wrong. The 7th Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about dust mites, and this is the rule where Japan will tell you that even the people doing it right are doing it wrong. In Japan, the guidance is very specific, meaning you heat first, then vacuum, roughly 20 seconds per square meter, and you concentrate on the pillow end. In an American house, you hang the mattress over the porch, railing for the afternoon, beat it with a broom, and consider the job done. Dust mites die at 50 degrees, Celsius sustained for 20 to 30 minutes, and sun drying a mattress or a duvet almost never gets to that temperature, and while the top surface warms up, the mites simply move to the shaded underside. Flip it over and they move back. And beating it does not help either, because mites grip the fibers, so all the beating does is break the dead ones up and spread the allergen finer, which is exactly what you don't want to be breathing in. The reason you concentrate the vacuum on the pillow end is that scalp flakes are the main food supply for them. Everything your grandmother taught you about airing bedding was right about the moisture and wrong about everything else. She wasn't lying to you, and nobody had the numbers yet. The generation that beat rugs on the line and hung mattresses out the window was doing the best possible version of what the tools of that generation allowed, and the tools of that generation happened to be wrong about the mites. The Japanese reasoning is that airing and mite removal are 2 different jobs done by 2 different mechanisms, and doing one of them won't do the other. So heat the bedding properly with a bedding dryer's mite cycle, or in a hot dryer for anything machine safe, and then vacuum it slowly, spending 20 seconds per square meter, pillow end first, and never beat it. Those were 7 rules about the bed itself. The next 4 are about the room the bed is in, and the first one is the reason the air in that room this morning is the same air you exhaled last night. The 8th Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about the window. Opening the bedroom window every morning is a default in Japan, year-round, for a few minutes even in the middle of winter. In an American house, the bedroom window has not been opened since the last time the weather was perfect, and in a lot of newer American builds, it barely opens at all. Overnight, you have put a cup of water and 8 hours of breath into a sealed box, and the target is under 50% humidity, because anything above that, and you are not managing a smell, you are growing one. The condensation on the window in the morning and the cold wall patches behind the headboard are the room telling you it is already happening. The air in that room this morning is the air you exhaled last night. You have been breathing yourself back in, all night, for years. The person you share the bed with has been breathing you back in too, and vice versa. The Japanese reasoning is that a sealed room is a saturated room, and the only reset is a physical exchange of the air inside for the air outside. So open the window for 5 minutes every morning, all year, and leave the bedroom door open during the day. It costs nothing. That is the air in the room. The next rule is about a box inside the room where you have been storing the day's moisture without realizing you were doing it. The 9th Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about the closet. Japanese Oshir storage is ventilated on purpose, and moisture absorbers for closets are an ordinary supermarket item over there. In an American house, your bedroom closet is a sealed box, packed tight to the rail, full of worn clothes hung back up. Every garment you wore today and then hung back up is still carrying the day's moisture, meaning your sweat, the humidity of the day, whatever the weather did to the fabric, and you have put it into an unventilated cavity inside the room you sleep in. The room isn't producing that smell on its own, you are storing it in there and opening the door twice a day to let a little of it out. You have a smell in your bedroom and a closet full of things that made it, and you have been opening and shutting the door on it twice a day without ever connecting the two. Every morning you reach into the source of the smell to pick out an outfit for the day, and then you close the door on it again. The Japanese reasoning is that storage is not the same as removal, and a room and its storage are the same room. So air a worn garment for 30 minutes before it goes back in, leave the closet door open when you are out of the house. Don't pack the rail tight, and get a moisture absorber, which costs a few dollars. That is the storage. The next rule is about the surface underneath everything, which is the largest absorbent object in the room. And you have been ignoring it because you were focused on the bed. The 10th Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about the floor. Japanese bedrooms are tatami or hard floor. American bedrooms are the most carpeted room in the entire house, and they are also the room where a person sheds skin for 8 hours a night, directly above that carpet. Carpet is the single largest absorbent surface in the room, and it holds everything the mattress doesn't, meaning the skin flakes, the pet hair, the spilled drink from last summer that nobody remembers, and vacuuming it only picks up the top layer. It is also the mite's second home after the bed, and the two populations end up feeding each other back and forth. You have been treating the bed as the problem this entire time. The bed is 4 feet wide. The floor is the whole room, and it is made of fabric. Every step you take barefoot in the morning is on a surface that has been storing skin cells and dander for as many years as you have lived in the house. The Japanese reasoning is that a floor made of fabric is a mattress the size of the room, and it needs the same treatment. So deep clean it or steam it twice a year, vacuum it slowly rather than often, and if you ever get the chance to replace it, a washable rug on a hard floor beats fitted carpet every time. That is the last physical object in the room. The last rule isn't about an object at all. It is about what the room is actually for. The 11th Japanese bedroom rule Americans break is about the job of the room itself. A Japanese bedroom does one thing. In America, the bedroom is also the office, the TV room, the place the clean laundry lives in a pile on the chair, where you eat when you don't want to be downstairs, and where things go when someone is coming over and you need to hide them somewhere fast. Every one of those adds a source. Food smell that never gets aired because there is no extractor fan over the bed. Laundry that never got put away and is still faintly damp on the chair. A chair with 3 days of clothes on it. A laptop, a mug, a plate, a bowl from the cereal you ate in bed on Sunday morning and forgot about. This is the only room in your house that no guest ever walks into, so it is the only room that never gets held to a standard. And it happens to be the room you spend a third of your life inside, unconscious, with your face pressed into the bedding. The Japanese reasoning is that the job of a room determines the condition of that room, and a room with 4 jobs will do none of them well. So keep food out, empty the chair, put the laundry away the day it is dry, and give the room 1 job. Japanese bedding was designed to be picked up. A futon weighs a few kilos, it folds, it goes over a rail, and it lives in a cupboard, and the entire system assumes that you will handle it every single morning. Your mattress weighs as much as a person, it cannot be lifted by one adult, it cannot be washed, it cannot go outside, and it is bolted into a carpeted room with a window that half the time doesn't open properly. Americans aren't lazier than the Japanese. They were just given a bed that physically cannot be aired, in a room that was sealed on purpose, and then they were told to make it look tidy every morning. You did exactly what you were taught to do. The furniture was never on your side. And there is a reason none of this ever occurred to you, and it isn't carelessness on your part either. Your nose switches off a smell it has been exposed to continuously, which is called olfactory adaptation, and it is why you can walk into someone else's house and smell it straight away but never smell your own. The bedroom is worse than the rest of the house though, because it is the only room you don't walk into from outside. You wake up already inside it, so your nose never gets that fresh reading of the air the way it does with every other room in the house. Every other room in your house gets tested by your nose once a day, without you ever knowing you are testing it. The bedroom never gets tested at all. So you are the only person alive who has never actually smelled your own bedroom, and everyone who has ever stayed over has. The pillow, the mattress, and the duvet are the 3 worst offenders in the whole room, so those are the ones to start on tonight. And while you are at it, open the bedroom window for 5 minutes before you go to bed, and you will smell the difference tomorrow morning. All right, Thanks a lot for watching, and let me know your thoughts in the comments, and check out the video appearing on your screen right now. I think that you'll like it.